Tonight on Kent Stater TV, another lawsuit against Ursuline High School for alleged bullying. Lawyers saying they are holding leaders accountable.
Kent State faculty say Senate Bill 1 is already affecting their lectures, while the university says academic freedom is safe. And the lawmakers who wrote the bill are watching closely. We have the story.
The Stowe police chief is retiring. The details on who will take over as Kent Stater TV News starts right now.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Good evening and welcome back to Kent Stater TV News. I'm Sydney Brown.
And I'm Sophia Lena. Thank you for joining us on your Monday evening.
Kent State's new reporting system for Senate Bill 1 is now live, allowing students and staff to file complaints about content being taught in lectures.
That's right, Sydney. But it's also raising questions about freedom of speech and faculty fear. Kent Stater TV's Lex Rady looked at how the law is playing out on campus. Lex, what can you tell us?
That's right, guys. At Kent State, a new reporting system under Senate Bill 1 is already shaping what happens inside the classroom, and it's creating a very different reactions from faculty and administrators.
Kent State has rolled out a portal where students and employees can flag concerns about what's being taught in the classroom in regards to Senate Bill 1. The university says the goal is simple: keep lessons tied to the course, not personal opinion, and protect what they call the core mission of academic instruction.
That this is not something that is going to impinge on their academic freedom at all. We still have a responsibility to teach, and we have a responsibility to teach in our disciplines.
But inside the classroom is a very different perception. Kent State's faculty union says SB 1 has opened the door to fear, self-censorship, and uncertainty. Professors feel that the university is now watching every word, knowing a single complaint could spark an investigation, even if they're teaching the same material they've taught for years.
It's created a lot of fear, and it's created a lot of chilling of free speech and academic freedom.
The fear doesn't stop with faculty. Students have been feeling it too. According to union leaders, professors are quietly cutting units, avoiding major theories, and holding back on discussions that once defined their fields of study. Not because the law bans it, but because professors fear what a misunderstanding could lead to.
And so a lot of faculty are thinking it's going to be easier. I'll just cut out this unit. It's not central to my class. And now the students are losing out on learning something that any expert in the field should know.
But the sponsor of the law sees it differently. Senator Jerry Serino, the Republican behind SB 1, says the legislation was written to fix what he believes is a long-standing imbalance in higher education. It gives students a way to speak up when they feel a professor has crossed the line.
There's been a lot of one-sided, left-of-center indoctrination going on campuses. The vast majority of faculty are left-of-center. Senate Bill 1 is not intended to move things to the right of center. What it's intended to do is to make sure that our institutions of higher learning are beacons of free speech.
SB 1 is in place, but what it means for the classrooms is still developing. Faculty see a chill, the university disagrees, and the sponsor of the bill says that they may revisit the idea of changing the legislation as universities adapt.
You know, if we find that something isn't working or that something is causing what we like to call unintended consequences, I'm open to going in and saying, you know, we got that wrong, or we could do something better.
Kent State will keep reviewing reports under its new system, while faculty continue to navigate a law they say has changed the classroom. And as campuses statewide adjust, the future of Senate Bill 1 and academic freedom remains uncertain.
Thank you for that, Lex. A third lawsuit was filed for alleged bullying at Ursuline High School. The lawsuit also names Assistant Principal Margaret DeMoore as a defendant.
KSTV Gage Wellman has been covering that matter and has the latest developments. Gage, what can you tell us?
That's right, guys. This is a story that's been ongoing since dating back to September. And overall, the story dates back years ago. See, Ursuline High School in the Youngstown, Ohio area is currently facing 3 different lawsuits alleging that administrators knew about and covered up multiple alleged criminal acts, such as sexual harassment and criminal hazing, conducted by members of the Ursuline High School's football team. The complaint filed by Counselor Subud Chandra alleges that school officials had a, quote, pattern of deliberate indifference to students. Now, KSTV and the Kent Stater will report on this matter further, but for now, I'll send it back to Sydney and Sophia at the desk.
Thank you, Gage. Now, Browns quarterback Shedeur Sanders made his regular season debut yesterday, but we have just learned that during the game, his house was broken into.
This is the latest string in high-profile break-ins as NFL stars Joe Burrow, Travis Kelce, and Patrick Mahomes were all targeted last year.
But stay with KSTV as Gage Wellman will have more on Shedeur's debut. Now, an uplifting update from Browns legend Bernie Kosar today, post-op at University Hospitals.
He received a life-saving liver transplant today, saying he's feeling good and, quote, ready to join the rest of the week and the rest of our lives, end of quote.
Since his diagnosis with liver failure and Parkinson's disease in 2024, he's had 8 procedures, including today's transplant.
Your first forecast on Kent Stater TV.
Hi everyone, I'm your weather anchor, Ryan Mead. Today was very clear and mostly sunny, so let's take a look at what we can expect for our night and into your day tomorrow. So early in the day, it was mostly cloudy, it was very cold, it was around that 33-degree mark, and then as we got into the rest of the day, it started getting a little more sunny, and as of right now, it's 38 degrees. It's a little bit more colder than what it was earlier in the day, but for the most part, a very as you can expect, very usual day for November, and about a little bit warmer than what it was, a little bit colder than what it was last week. But this, for the rest of the night, is going to be a little bit clear, or mostly clear for the rest of the night. Don't expect any rain any rain chances. But as we saw today, it's going to be mostly clear. Except tomorrow morning, it might be a little bit more cloudy, and we are actually expected to have a freeze advisory. And it's going to occur right around the morning. It's going to be a mix of freezing rain and just regular rain. And then as we get into the rest of the day and towards the afternoon, we're going to see more of regular rain. But it's not going to be too much of a big deal, or it's going to be a bit of an issue in the morning. But it's going to be mostly rain showers in the afternoon. But be prepared for some nasty weather tomorrow with the freezing rain. But now let's go back to our anchors, Sydney and Sophia, with more news updates.
Thank you, Ryan. Kent Stater TV is excited to debut a new series to highlight locals giving back this season.
We welcome back Kent Stater TV Lex Rady. Lex.
That's right, guys. Our new feature series, 25 Ways of Giving, is highlighting donation drives, fundraisers, and acts of generosity across Portage and Summit counties and right here on Kent State's campus. From local organizations to student clubs and even individuals who are lending a helping hand out this holiday season, you can reach out to me at arade, that's R-A-D-D-E, at kent.edu to see your story featured on air or on our website.
That'll be really exciting. Thank you, Lex. At one of the highest points in Kent, one of 2 water towers is getting a facelift. City officials at the Division of Engineering say they are doing welding repairs to improve insulation. The 92-foot tall tower will also be getting a new Kent logo after completion, but engineers weren't specific on a timeline for the project and instead told KSTV they are expecting it to be complete at some point in 2026.
So, Police Chief Jeff Film retired this Sunday after more than 3 decades in the department. The officer joined the Stowe Police in 1991 and became chief in 2014. Film will continue in his role as commander of the Kent State University's Police Academy in Twisburg branch and executive director of the Safety Forces Support Center. His successor Heather Bush, is a 25-year-old veteran officer and was officially sworn in this Friday as the police chief.
And in Canton, 2 buildings were destroyed in an early morning fire. Firefighters say the flames started at a vacant single-story building from the rear and side of the building and spread to the neighboring vacant buildings and to the Stark County Regional Planning Building. City officials say the 2 empty buildings will be razed today.
Police arrested a 15-year-old yesterday after a fatal shooting on Saturday in Twinsburg. The teen is a Twinsburg Township resident and was arrested for murder and tampering with evidence. According to the police, he was taken to the Summit County Juvenile Detention Center where he will be held pending a hearing. No other information has been released as the police is still investigating the case.
More demands to release the Epstein files from lawmakers. The transparency battle in Washington.
Thanksgiving is one of the busiest travel times of the year, and this year is supposed to be worse than ever. We have the details on the travel numbers for this holiday after the break.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma. I have a mentor, and she convinced me to continue my education.
No one receives a diploma alone.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Can you help me?
What you got there?
Will you help my mom?
Hey, crew, I'll give the first move to anyone who signs up to be an organ donor. How do you do it?
Easy. Just go to organdonor.gov.
More donors means more hope. Sign up at organdonor.gov.
I feel like her heartbeat is like same speed as mine. And I think we have this like deep connection, this heart connection in her heart, that there's room for me and mom. When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer. It's a sensory thing. It's a thing with Asperger's.
She's really good with Anya. I've seen adults react to my daughter when she has meltdowns like she's from a different planet. And this little animal just sat next to my child and was just like, you know, it's gonna be cool.
She's my superhero.
Good job, kitty cat.
When we adopted Lucky, we discovered all the wonderful things that make her unique.
Lucky's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly she's pure love.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Your community.
Your stories.
Welcome back. The U.S. House of Representatives is set to vote this week on the decision to release the Epstein files.
But even if they vote this week, the decision would still need to pass the House and the desk of the president before the files are unsealed. Karen Kafa reports.
With a House vote looming and a mass of Republican defections expected, President Donald Trump making a reversal. In a Truth Social post Sunday night, Trump wrote, quote, House Republicans should vote to release the Epstein files because we have nothing to hide and it's time to move on from this Democrat hoax. A House vote is expected as early as Tuesday after a bipartisan effort by Democratic Representative Ro Khanna of California and Republican Representative Thomas Massie of Kentucky gathered enough signatures to force a vote. Massie told ABC News on Sunday he predicts more than 100 House Republicans could vote in favor of releasing the government's files related to the disgraced financier and convicted sex offender who died in prison in 2019. Trump has said he and Epstein were one-time friends. The president has never been linked to any wrongdoing in the crimes committed by Epstein.
I think we could have a deluge of Republicans. There could be 100 or more. I'm hoping to get a veto-proof majority on this legislation when it comes up for a vote.
The effort has prompted a split between Trump and previous close political allies like Massey, who he attacked on social media on Friday. And Georgia Republican Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, who said Sunday she doesn't understand why the president had been fighting the files release, as she doesn't believe he's done anything wrong.
I have no idea what's in the files. I can't even guess, but that is the questions everyone is asking, is why fight this so hard?
The House measure would have to pass the Republican-led Senate, and Trump has not said whether he would sign such a bill if it reached his desk. He also could order the release of the documents without Congress. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
New York City police released a new image of the suspect for shooting the NFL cornerback Chris Boyd this Sunday. Boyd was taken to the hospital in critical condition with a gunshot wound to his abdomen, and the bullet lodged in his lung. A law enforcement source said he was engaged in a fight when the shooting happened, and as of today, it is in critical condition but stable. No arrest has been made in connection with the shooting.
The acting chief of the Federal Emergency Management Agency will step down after hurricane season. David Richardson submitted his letter of resignation to the Department of Homeland Security following months of public controversy and internal frustration at FEMA. Sources told CNN today that plans were already in the works to remove him from the role as part of other changes to Homeland Security.
Keeping you informed and ahead of the storm, this is your KSTV weather.
After seeing some snow last Monday and then temperatures warm back up later in the week, Ohio weather can be unpredictable. Now let's see what we can expect for this upcoming week. But currently right now in Ohio, we have a little bit of a difference in temperatures. Towards Cincinnati, it's around that 52 mark. Towards Akron, around the 52 mark. But then in Toledo up there, it's around that 46-degree mark. So we're seeing a little bit of difference in like the wind and different temperatures around the Ohio area. But then as we get a little bit closer towards where we are, it is going to be around that 55-degree mark. Not too bad as of right now. It was a lot colder earlier. But as we get to the rest of the week, it's going to be, for the most part, tonight's going to be a low of 28, and it's going to hit that right around midnight, and it's going to be a very cold one to start the morning tomorrow. And tomorrow we are in a freeze warning, so be prepared for that. As we get into the rest of the week, as it continues, it's going to be mostly partly cloudy for the rest of the week. This weekend is going to be very nice. It should be around that 50-degree mark. But mostly partly cloudy. We are expecting a possibility of some rain on Friday, only 20% as of right now, but that could, as we get to later in the week, build up a little bit. But as of right now, it should be a very nice week for the most part, and I expect a pretty nice weekend, maybe the last nice weekend for the until it gets really cold towards winter. But yeah, it should be a great week, guys. So it should be a great week for November. But so what are you guys expecting, or what are you guys looking forward to this week?
Definitely looking forward to having some more stable temperatures. We want to be careful with that freezing rain, right? But
right.
I do have a bit of a hot take that I think some of like the holiday seasonal snow is kind of nice.
Well, that's true. It matches the vibe. So.
Ryan, you agree?
Yeah, I think I can agree. It's sometimes nice to see a little bit of a difference in snow and what we've been seeing lately. But thank you guys.
Thank you, Ryan. We now turn to forecast what travelers can expect for any upcoming plans.
Keeping us up to date with the changing flights and travel headlines is Kayla Gleason. Hi, Kayla.
Hi, Sydney and Sophia. Yes, so I have a few travel updates for you on ground and air travel for your Thanksgiving plans. This year, road and airports are expected to be busier than ever around Thanksgiving, with nearly 82 million people hitting the roads. That is more than 1.6 million more travelers than last Thanksgiving. AAA predicted a majority of people will travel by car, but 6 million U.S. travelers are expected to take domestic flights for Thanksgiving this year. For those planning on driving next week, AAA spokesperson Aixa Diaz shared the worst times of day to travel during the week of Thanksgiving.
Anytime after lunchtime is when you're going to really see that traffic building, especially on the interstates at major metros.
Thankfully, airports are resuming their regular schedules in the U.S. today, according to the FCC. Flight restrictions that were placed during the government shutdown have been lifted. These affected the 40 biggest airports across the U.S. Since Thanksgiving is the busiest travel period of the year, it's suggested to still check airline apps for delays or cancellations. Among the 40 airports that had their restrictions lifted include Chicago's O'Hare International Airport.
Thank goodness it happened before the holidays because we all deserve good getaways and a smooth transition from here to family and back again.
National museums have also started to reopen after the over 40-day government shutdown. All federal facilities were closed during the shutdown, which was the longest shutdown in U.S. history. Most national museums reopened their doors to visitors on Saturday, but it may take several days for operation to begin to return to normal. That's all I have for you today on Thanksgiving travel plans and shutdown updates. For KSTV News, I'm Kayla Gleason.
Myles Garrett broke records, and it was the long-awaited debut of Shedeur Sanders. Next in sports.
Amen.
Kids will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes twice a day. They have the time.
Don't let E. coli mosh with your food. An estimated 3,000 Americans die from a foodborne illness each year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So always separate raw meat from vegetables. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money.
The FDA asks questions like, is this drug safe? Does it work the way it should? Is it high quality? Do its benefits outweigh its known risks? Find the answers at fda.gov/drugs.
This is your Kent Stater TV Sports Report.
Good evening, everyone. I'm back for your Kent Stater Sports Report. We're going to start in Greenbrier, West Virginia, where the Kent State men's basketball team dominated this weekend. The Flashes participated in the Greenbrier tip-off, playing games on Saturday and Sunday in a hotel ballroom of all places. Saturday saw Kent State take on the Cleveland State Vikings, and the Flashes, well, they played very consistent throughout and held the lead for the majority of the game, winning 102-95. And yesterday, the Wright State Raiders were the last to face KSU in the tournament. The Flashes needed overtime, but senior Delrico Gillespie pulled through once again and led the Flashes to a 76-72 overtime victory. And speaking of Delrico Gillespie, today he was named Men's MAC Player of the Week. Gillespie is on a tear, posting a double-double in every game this season, and he is currently tied for the lead in double-doubles across the country. Against Cleveland State and Wright State, Gillespie led the team in scoring, both games with 30 and 26 points respectively, with that 30-ball game being a career high for Rico coming against CSU. Now back here in Kent, the women's basketball team won their third straight contest yesterday, this one coming against the Niagara Purple Eagles. The Flashes blew out Niagara by a final score of 92-45, with junior forward Janai Taylor leading KSU in scoring with 24 big points. Tyler was helped out by senior guard Diana Gray, who had a career-high 10 assists with 0 turnovers as well. That's awesome for Diana. The Flashes will rest today and tomorrow before heading to Columbus to take on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Well, we're going to go to Cleveland, where Myles Garrett broke a record. the first player in NFL history with 6 consecutive seasons of 12 sacks or more. Devin Bush is going to intercept this pass from Lamar Jackson, the two-time MVP quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens. Did not have a great game as the Browns are going to take a 13-3 lead on that interception there, but the the Ravens are going to climb their way back into this one off the back of veteran running back Derrick Henry. He's going to bowl his way into the end zone. And then on not a tush push, but a wildcat tight end formation with Mark Andrews, who became the all-time leading receiver in Baltimore Ravens history yesterday. That's Mark Andrews, who's had a great career since coming into the league. But here he is, Shedeur Sanders, making his long-awaited NFL debut. He almost led the Browns to victory, but it was too little too late, as the Ravens would go on to defeat the Browns by a final score of 23-16. Now, some extra news today in the NFL. Bengals wide receiver Jamar Chase has been suspended for spitting on another player, that being Pittsburgh Steelers' Jalen Ramsey. For KSTV, I'm Gage Wellman, and you'll see Sydney and Sophia coming up after the break.
Songs, even if they're bad, hundreds and hundreds of them, just to find a good one. Yeah. And then
I've been in this long enough. I feel like I know what I'm doing.
Knowing that you're basically like there and being
with that, but it has a special place in my heart. I grew up watching it so much. Have you guys seen it?
Brush, brushy, brush, brushy, brush, brush your teeth. Every day and every night. Now it's your parents' turn. Here's what you gotta do. Let them have your toothbrush so that they can brushy brush your teeth. Good job, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Help your teeth stay healthy. Brushy brush with a grown-up every day.
Sit with me, imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. 'Cause every kid across the nation deserves a book to read, and we can make it happen right now.
No, I don't know what you've been told, but kids with books learn so much more. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite, unearth hidden passion. Tomorrow have a good time.
Planting seeds of inspiration to motivate some magic.
To change the writing on the wall, writing on the wall.
One book can make a difference. One book can inspire a child. One book can be the first thing that helps to change a life.
People unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
The Chucktail Police Department released a video of a package thief caught in the act. The thing is, the thief is the man's best friend who has rebelled and now might have become an enemy. And this was not a solo work. As you can see, the partner followed right behind the thief, ensuring that the coast was clear, while the pup is still on the run.
How can you be mad at that face? And the zoom in, too.
That's so cute.
Well, thank you for tuning in on your Monday evening, and be sure to be back here at 8 for Sports Corner.
I'm Sophia Lena.
And I'm Sydney Brown. Have a great night, Portage County.
Can you help me?
Mom, Dad, we're going out.
Thank you.
Oh, look, they're playing chess.
What you got there?
Will you help my mom?
She's real sick, huh? Hey, crew, I'll give the first move to anyone who signs up to be an organ donor. How do you do it?
Easy. Just go to organdonor.gov.
You heard them, organdonor.gov.
More donors means more hope. Sign up at organdonor.gov.
Did you know that children growing up with poor air quality have smaller lungs and higher rates of asthma than children that grow up with good air quality? And unfortunately, poor communities have poor air quality. IQ Air Foundation is working to change this. Today, the IQ Air Foundation provides filtration technology to schools with poor air quality through our Clean Air for Kids program. Our goal is to help over 50,000 school children every year breathe over 90% cleaner air indoors, helping to level the playing field, reduce barriers to learning, reduce sick days, and increase test scores. Mitigating poor air quality is key to environmental justice. Help Clean Air for Kids reach more children at IQAirFoundation.org.